Hi, and welcome to PlayingGuitar.org. I'm Wes Carr, and today we're going to talk a little bit about posture while you're playing. In particular, posture while you're sitting. Posture wasn't really a subject that I thought much about until I was living in Chicago, and I had a really good friend that was a jazz musician professionally, and basically his posture was so bad that eventually he wasn't able to perform anymore. He was only able to really sit for a half hour to 45 minutes before his back started hurting so bad that he had to basically quit. And so he went and he actually started seeing chiropractors to get his body worked out. And one of the things that came up was his music, his performing, and his poor sitting while he was performing that was causing a lot of problems. And we don't want to be thinking about how much pain we're in, we want to be able to think about the music. So there's a few things that you want to consider, and the most important one is alignment. Your body wants to feel natural, and a lot of times playing guitar is an unnatural position. First of all, make sure you have a chair that you find is comfortable. For me, I really do find most anything that is doesn't have armrests will work. But some people are a little bit more particular and maybe need more padding than I do. The biggest things, if you're younger or if you're short like I am, you want to make sure that your knees are able to bend at 90-degree angles. What can really help to work out some of your posture issues is to make sure that you have some kind of a focal point when you're practicing. For me right now it's easy because I have the camera, so I can pretend that that's my audience. But if you're practicing at home, get a mirror or even just a poster, something that you can really look at. And when you're practicing sitting in your chair, what you want is everything should be facing your focal point. So your toes should face it, your knees should face it, your chest and your face should all be facing that focal point. And at times this can be hard because we generally will play with our guitars sort of angled out. And what ends up happening is we turn our bodies to match the angle. And usually it's not that drastic, but usually it's just a touch. And that's twisting your spine and throwing it out of proportion, and that's going to cause a lot of problems. Now you don't want to be militant about it, because the more tension that you hold, the slower and less smooth your playing will be. What you want to basically do is pretend that there's a string attached to the top of your head and it's being pulled up. And that string isn't attached to your shoulders, just your head. You see a lot of players that will raise their shoulders when I play, and that's probably where I struggle the most. I'm really guilty about my shoulders being too tense. So part of that can come from, there's a few ways. If you notice your shoulders raising, or if you're having a lot of shoulder pain, you can angle your guitar where the bottom pops out just a little bit, the top goes in, and start focusing on only holding the strings down with your hand and letting the rest of your arm basically be dead, and just be dead weight, and using that weight to your advantage to help you hold down the strings. Usually it's the right shoulder that causes a lot of the problems, and you see a lot of people playing like this or like this, too far back maybe. You really do want the crook of your elbow in onto the binding of your guitar, or the side of your guitar, and in different spots for different people. The biggest thing is just to make sure you're comfortable, and your right shoulder is able to drop down a little bit and relax and be really comfortable. And that can be one of the hardest parts of playing to remember, is sitting well and making sure that you're comfortable. Generally, it's often overlooked. We tend to be watching TV when we're practicing, or doing something else, and our mind's usually not on what we're doing. Or even worse, we're a little too focused and we bend over and we're really trying to watch our hands. That's one of the other ways that having your guitar angled out can help, because you can see your hands better, but you don't need to bend over or lean over. A few other things that can help not only your posture but your musicianship is to learn to practice without looking at your left hand. Every time you're looking at your left hand, you're bringing your head out of alignment. That's one of the reasons a mirror can help, because you'd be able to see your left hand in the mirror. It takes some getting used to, but it can be really useful. But if you get used to playing with your eyes closed or in the dark, one, your hands will start to catch on to your guitar a little bit better. Your ears will pick up on tonal characteristics that you wouldn't have normally caught onto, and you're not bringing your head out of alignment. I had a friend that was a concertina player, and obviously he can't really see what his hands are doing. And looking at him play, and I realized he was able to sit very straight and very proper, very comfortable, and much unlike what most guitarists are able to do. And I think we need to get used to not completely relying on our eyes when we're playing. We need to start relying more on our ears and trusting that we know where these notes are. Hopefully some of that can help your playing. I mean, and obviously if you have or are experiencing severe back pain or shoulder pain from playing, please see a chiropractor or a masseuse or someone that can help you more than I can. We want to be able to play for as long as possible. We want to play until we're well into our 90s or 100 years old. But if we're not sitting right and we're not playing right, obviously that's not going to happen. Good luck and happy picking.